Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a drill. I repeat, this is not a drill. The banger of the summer has released Despicable Me 4. It's the song of the summer. Everyone's talking about it. It's the movie of the summer. Just kidding. Everybody is talking about Despicable Me 4. It follows the life of a man named Gru. He's hot. He's sexy. He's a villain. All right. Which is why our commander is Camball, profiteering mayor. 1 white black for a human advisor. 2-4. Whenever one or more tokens enter the battlefield under your opponent's control, for each of them, create a tapped token that's a copy of it, only triggering once each turn. So basically, the first token your opponents make, actually, you get that. If they make multiple tokens, the first time they do that, you get a copy of all of them. So say they make 4 food, you make 4 food. Very fun. And whenever one or more tokens enter the battlefield under your control, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. That's sinister. That's criminal. That is despicable. Being drained out is one of the worst ways to go in Magic. Hit me with that commander damage, dude. That's sick. All right. But draining me out slowly that I can watch my life total go down, despicable, bro. And of course, you're wondering, what tokens are we going to be making in this deck? Well, I rub my hands together and I got to say, we're making minion tokens. Now, of course, I scoured and I only found 2 ways in our color identity to make some awesome minion tokens. Are you going to pick the Phyrexian Processor or the Infernal Genesis? We're going to pick both because I'm based like that. Phyrexian Processor is 4 mana for an artifact that as it enters the battlefield, we can pay any amount of life. So that's our boy Gru slitting his wrists and probably paying about, I'd say like 10 life is honestly pretty fair because you're going to gain a lot back with Camball. And then for 4 mana, we can tap the Processor to put an XX black minion creature token onto the battlefield where X is the life paid when it entered the battlefield. So if it's 10, this is a 10/10 minion. Also, why is this the black art? I didn't sign off on this. I got to talk to my art guy, but it is lore accurate to the movies. You should watch them. Anyway, Infernal Genesis, 4 and 2 black for an enchantment. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player mills a card and they make X 1/1 black minion creature tokens where X is that card's mana cost. So they're going to get a bunch of minions. That sounds like a bad idea, right? But wait, there's more. Rest in peace, Billy Mays, who died in 2009. Because of Camball, first ability. That means when they get a minion, I get a minion, all right? I must get the ham radio. He cannot afford. Very nice, all right? Sick Borat reference. Leave a like down below for Borat. Anyway, then of course we got Zulaport Cutthroat and Blood Artist. Whenever creatures die, our opponents lose 1 life and we gain 1 life. So we're slowly draining them out. Nothing is more despicable than killing your own minions to win the game. Same thing with Cruel Celebrant, Mirkwood Bats, and Nadir's Nightblade. Just a couple more overlap. That way we have some redundancy in our deck because when we make tokens, each opponent loses life. And when tokens leave, each opponent loses life and we gain life. It's good. We're going to have a lot of life gain. We can pay a lot into that processor when we draw it to make some big minions. Very cool. Now, I know what you want. More characters as cards. Easy, all right? First up, we got Dr. Nefaria, one of the goats of the Despicable Me universe, all right? His card is Baron Bertram Greywater, 2 and an Orzhov. Whenever 1 or more tokens enter the battlefield under your control, create a 1/1 black vampire rogue with lifelink. Dope. All right, that's another trigger of Camball. That's another drain life, and it has lifelink. We're getting a lot of life. Very cool. Very despicable. And for 1 and a black, we can sack one of our minions and draw a card. So we just have a lot of mana lying around. All right, we just sack a bunch of stuff, draw a bunch of cards, keep our hand full. Thank you, Dr. Nefario. Dr. Nefario. Of course, we can't forget about Gru's hot wife, Teysa Karlov, 2 white-black for a human advisor. If a creature dying causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, it triggers an additional time. Remember all those death triggers that we had on those 2 slides ago? Yeah, they're all getting doubled. So now every time a token dies, that's 2 life gained for us, 2 life lost for our opponents. Dope. And creature tokens you control have vigilance and lifelink. Now our minions have guns and knives, and they're out for blood. All right, they're going to be getting us life. They're going to be staying back as blockers at the same time. Thank you, Teysa Karlov. Very based. And we can't forget about the biggest villain of them all, Vector. All right. Pitiless Plunderer, 3 and a black. Whenever another creature you control dies, create a treasure token. This is some sick technique right here. We sack something, okay? We get a treasure token. That treasure token is a token. It causes Camball and all of our token stuff to trigger. We sack it. We get a bunch of other stuff. Oh, it's good and epic. Thank you, Vector. All right. Now you're wondering, how do we win? How does this deck win? Well, if you haven't been following along, we're going to have our commander, Gru, on the battlefield. Then our opponents are going to love our Infernal Genesis, making a bunch of black minions, except we're also going to be making our minions of our own and throwing them into an industrial meat grinder in order to drain our table with Blood Artist and other aristocrat triggers. Boom, bada bing, evil deck done. Watch Despicable Me 4 in theaters near you. Of course, that brings us to the end of the video. If you liked it, leave a like. If you subscribe, subscribe. If you have some extra money lying around, don't buy that overpriced popcorn at the movie theaters. Donate to the children in Palestine using my link down below. I also have a Discord. Whoa. Come and join that. Link in the description. And yeah, hope to see you in the next one. Peace out.